So hello and welcome to the Maths Guide, and we're looking at day 2, adding and subtracting integers. And as usual, the first thing that you're going to do is do your assignments. So I go over to here and I click on the link for assignments, and that brings me to the assignments page. Now, as you can see there, I have a number of exercises which begin in the next 24 hours, but I don't have any exercises that begin immediately. So I'm going to close that and I'm going to go back to the adding and subtracting integers. So the next thing that I do then obviously is I review the following video and then complete the following exercises. So for you, you would click on the video, but I've already seen the video, so I'm going to click on the link that says the following exercises, which brings me to the maths training page. So as usual, once we go here, we click on this category selection, and we've got 3 sets of questions that we need to answer today. So let's have a look at the first one, adding and subtracting integers. As usual, if you need some help, you can click on the examples and help, and that will give you some instructions on what to do. So here it says, Moscow is 7 degrees hotter than Leningrad. If Leningrad is 4 degrees, what temperature is Moscow? So we want to think, what's a formula for this? How do I find out what temperature it is in Moscow? And to do that, well, Moscow is hotter than Leningrad, so we find the temperature in Leningrad and we add how many degrees hotter Moscow is to that. So that's our formula. We'll be adding together the 2 pieces of information. So in this question, we have Moscow is 4 degrees, Leningrad is -3, but we don't need to think about that too much. We just need to know that I've got +4 and we're taking away 3. Again, this is like 4 people get on the bus, 3 people get off the bus, for a total of 1 person having got on the bus, and that is our answer. And what you need to know is what you're doing is you're adding the 2 values. 15 plus -10 is 5. 11 plus 7 is 18, that's normal. 4, 9, 13, that's normal. 18 plus -1, put that in the calculator, you'll see you get 17. 8 and 9 is normal, that's normal. 13 plus -6, again, it's like 13 people get on a bus, 6 people get off the bus. So overall, we have 7 people have got on the bus. 3 and 10 is 13, and 10 and 1 is 11, and we've completed that section of the exercise, and we move on to the next topic. Adding and subtracting integers. Question 2. Again, we can click on the examples and help to find out information about this if we want, or if you already understand from the video what to do, you can just read the question. So this says Moscow is 16 degrees hotter than Leningrad. What temperature is Leningrad? So you know the temperature in Moscow, you know Moscow is hotter than Leningrad, so the question is what temperature is Leningrad? To find the temperature in Leningrad, you get the temperature in Moscow and you subtract how much hotter Moscow is. So be careful with this. We're seeing that this is 17 take away 16, and we're given the formula here as well. You find the temperature in Moscow and you subtract how much hotter Moscow is to find the temperature in Leningrad. So that is 17 take away 16 is 1. 10 take away 3 is 7. 14 take away 7 is 7. 8 take away 1 is 7. -1 subtract 1. So you're down 1 and you go down another 1, so you're down 2. Okay, if you're not certain about this, type it into a calculator, but try and figure it out first before you use the calculator. If you use the calculator, it's going to take you a huge amount of time to do these questions, because a lot of these questions assume you can add and multiply very quickly in your head. So get to practice this. -1 minus 1 is -2. -1 take away 3, -4. 18 take away 11 is 7. 25 take away 20 is 5. 1. 7 take away 13. So you're taking away more than you have. So that's like you got 7 people get on the bus and 13 get off the bus. So overall 6 people have got off the bus. So we write that down as a -6. And that is that section complete, and you move on to the next section. In this question, it asks how much hotter is it in Moscow? Without looking at the numbers, we know that's the temperature in Moscow less the temperature in Leningrad. So this 11 subtract 1 is 10. Again, it gives you the formula, so you can just use the formula. Temperature in Moscow, subtract temperature in Leningrad. 11 take away 1 is 10. 21 take away 3 is 18. 7 take away negative 6. Now this is where we come up with some interesting things. If you're subtracting a negative number, now normally you wouldn't really do this, but when you've got a formula, you end up subtracting negative numbers. So you have got 7 and you're subtracting negative 6. If you subtract a negative number, that's the same as adding it. So 7 plus 6 is 13. 17 minus 1 is 16. 24 minus 6 is 18. Negative 7 take away negative 8 is the same as negative 7 plus 8, which is 1. So just be careful. Oops, I meant to type in 18 there and I lost a score. So just be careful what you do and keep working on it. 8 take away 3 is 5. 1 take away negative 3 is the same as 1 plus 3, which is 4. 21 take away 6, 15. 16 take away 9 is 7. And that is it. You have completed today's exercise. Okay, so that should be reasonably straightforward, I hope. Again, you have a formula telling you what to do. If you're not quite certain, read the question. Make sure the formula makes sense, because in the future, you're going to have to make up your own formulas or know when to use a formula. But then you put the values in. Negative 3 take away negative 7 is the same as negative 3 plus 7, which is plus 4. Keep trying that. If you're not sure how to do it, put it into your calculator, but try and get that in your head and be able to do it without using your calculator if you can.